We take two trips to the all-weather on Sunday, and this is the first one, race number 3, Class 4 over the 1,200 metres. Field is headed by Utopia Life, two-time course and distance winner. Whiz Kid's been very good in his 3 starts. Back to the all-weather now in search of his first win. Steel Wins, also a two-time course and distance winner. Thunderstrike, a last start course and distance winner. This is Guts, first up for the season with the blinkers on. Blotting Paper draws barrier 9, generally rolls forward though. Everyone's victory behind Magic Supreme last time out. Got Handsome Rebel and Jade Theatre both behind Thunderstrike last time out. Fortune Happiness comes out of the Magic Supreme race, and Amazement switching onto the all-weather for the first time. Yeah, a number of runners here having a look at the all-weather for the first time. The pace should be good to Paul Whiz Kid. We know he likes to roll along. I thought maybe last start he was just slightly disappointing, sort of from what we'd seen in his first 2 runs.
Yeah, coming back onto the all-weather will probably suit him, I think, because he did run really well on debut on the all-weather from a wide draw. This is Guts. Now, he's been slightly slow away in his trials, but then he's really mustered and found pace. Peking Kingdom went forward in his trial in the all-weather as well. Steel Win and Blotting Paper have drawn wide. We'll start off with Whiz Kids, Tom, who's only just beaten on debut on the all-weather. 2 really good runs on the turf on his next 2 starts, switching back to the dirt surface now. Yeah, I just wonder if the early stages of this race took a little bit of a toll on him, because he hadn't sort of stayed on like he had done in his prior runs. So Whiz Kid, the first one, of course, on the all-weather, beaten a short hit by the best hero, had been knocking on the door, and then was knocked off by Seasons Bliss, who's since come out and won. And only was headed really here, Paul, over the last 150 metres, drawn nicely this time round, so shouldn't have to do too much work. Yeah, and I like the fact he's coming back to the all-weather, because that was a really strong debut run from him. So coming back onto the surface, he always works well on it. I think he'll be tough to beat in this. All right, well, Thunderstrike, Paul, won last time out with a couple of horses behind him as well. That was his maiden victory, but he's 1 from 1 on the surface now. He's by power, and we've seen that progeny really like out the all-weather. He definitely goes in for me as well. I thought it was a really strong run from him, and he really improved and showed this really good turn of foot down the outside. So he goes in on a minor line. He wasn't the quickest away, and then down the side he sort of had to get off heels and peel out wide a bit. So look, he launched nicely over the final stages, and he was in the market on that occasion too at 10 to 1. He's sort of around at the moment 13 to 1. Didn't quite make it in, but wouldn't be surprised. This is the Magic Supreme form race with Everyone's Victory, Steel Win and Fortune Happiness, Tom. Yeah, well, Everyone's Victory, he raced just off the speed, and I thought he boxed on all right last time out. You can see him being shaken up a little bit towards the home turn there, but he's done a good enough job. Steel Win at all in this race, Paul, never seemed to travel at all, but he's still been able to box on for 4th. Yeah, so I've got him in on a minor line. He's the main one I've taken out of this Steel Win. He's been quite consistent on the surface. He just needs a little bit of light. But sitting 3 wide, if he is 3 wide on the all-weather, it's not normally as much of a disadvantage. Magic Supreme, the winner of that race as well, will go around in race number 9, the second of the all-weather races. This is Peking Kingdom, Paul, trialling up at Chung Fa, was really sent out early and established a bit of a lead. Yeah, so look, he's coming back on. He's coming onto the surface. He's worked really well and trialled nicely. He's quite more than ready. So he looks ideally suited to the surface. So look, I think he's going to run a real good race. I've got him as the Quinella horse in this. I'm going to put him on top just at the price here at the moment. 7s and 3.6. He's up 24 pounds, but he's been able to win that trial nicely. Won a trial by 8 1/4 lengths prior to that, and it looks like he's always trialled well on the all-weather surface. So he certainly goes in. OK, one more trial to have a look at, Tom. This is Guts. He's first up since June. Yeah, Paul referenced before that sometimes hasn't been the quickest out, but has been able to find some speed. He did this time round. In fact, he just might have run with a choke out on this occasion. I thought this is Guts in that trial, but he still won well enough. Of course, the second horse is Captain Win, Paul. Yeah, exactly, and he came out and won, didn't he? Look, he was pushed out in this trial, but he still maintained that lead. The query I have is if he does get crossed, if he is a little bit slow out, he's just going to find it a little bit trickier from barrier number 1. First up last season was money for him on debut. He was in the market at 7.5. Blinkers on, barrier 1. Maybe there's some positives there. But Whiz Kid, Paul, the favourite to break through. Yeah, and I've got him on top. I think he can get out and get to the front. He's got a low draw and he'll get his opportunity. Whiz Kid, his last start on the all-weather, he did it really tough. He's on top. Peking Kingdom, he's the big improver. He's got no form on the turf, but coming to the all-weather, I think we'll see a different horse. Thunderstrike in there for 3rd, last start winner at Steel Win. 2, 5, 4 and 3.
5 and 2, my Quinella here. I do like number 5 on top, Packing Kingdom off this trials onto the all-weather for the first time. WizKid certainly goes in. He's the favourite at the moment. Everyone's victory wasn't certainly the worst last time out, beating 2.5, and then it was a toss-up between This Is Guts and Thunderstrike, but went with This Is Guts off the back of his 2 recent wins at the trials. So 5, 2, 8 and 6.
WizKid clearly the one to beat for me. Then take your pick as far as the wider exotics are concerned. I think This Is Guts, though, can run a race off the inside gate there as well. That's race number 3, a Class 4 over the 1,200 metres on the all-weather.